Hi. My name is Nora, and I graduated from Marshall in 2008. And I'm so honored to be chosen for the Marshall Distinguished Young Alumni Award. And I'm really surprised as well because I know so many people who are doing amazing things. But thank you. Really, thank you. They asked me to talk about myself just for a few minutes and explain what I'm doing, so I'm happy to do that. Right now, I'm currently working with the United States Peace Corps in Mozambique, and I teach English to 11th graders. And so I just wanted to take a few minutes to tell you about Mozambique and to tell you about my life as a Peace Corps volunteer. So I hope it's interesting for you. Mozambique itself is a large country in southern Africa, and it's known as a bit of a lottery post within the Peace Corps because it has amazing beaches and because the people here are so friendly and so welcoming. The official language is Portuguese and the local language is Xangana, which I've been trying to learn and still struggling with because it's very, very difficult. And let's see, Mozambique has only been an independent country for about 40 years, and a lot of that time was spent in a civil war. So a lot of the problems that Mozambique faces come from being such a young country. They're still working to develop, and they're trying to change their education system, but a lot of Mozambique is still incredibly isolated, and most of the population are subsistence farmers. And personally, I live in a small town called Gija in southern Mozambique, and almost everyone where I live is a farmer. The women go to the fields every day, they hoe their fields by hand, and then they come home, they cook for their families, they do housework, they keep their houses running day to day. And then the men usually work in South Africa, and then they send money back home to their families and come home at holidays. But that's life here. As a Peace Corps volunteer, I teach at a secondary school in Gija, and I teach about 20 hours a week, which is pretty close to full-time for a Mozambican teacher. I have about 150 students, which is quite a lot. My largest classroom has more than 50 students in it, which has been definitely a challenge learning how to work with that. I've been here and been teaching for about 6 months now, and I didn't have any teaching experience when I came in, so it's been a steep learning curve, but I love it. Teaching is more fun than I thought it would be, to be honest. I really like it. Some of the things that have been challenging for me are the different skill levels in my classes. Like, I have some students who are almost fluent in English if they spent time in South Africa or Zimbabwe. And then I also have students who are still struggling with Portuguese and who mostly speak Xangana. So trying to keep everyone engaged and learning can definitely be challenging. I also have challenges trying to figure out just what is the best way to teach a second language. Like, I know how I learn second languages, but I want to do the best by my students that I can. So I'm trying to think about that. When I'm not teaching, I also work on secondary projects. Right now I'm working to help our school rebuild and restock their library because it was destroyed 2 years ago in a flood. And I'm also working to start a community library program to promote literacy and to promote especially reading for fun among young students. And I think this is really important because people don't have many books here, and the books that they do have are school books. So they don't really see reading as a fun thing. To them, reading is work. Reading is something you do for school. And then, especially because Portuguese is a second language, they get to school and it's not easy. Reading's not easy at all, and it can be so easy for them to fall behind and just to think things are too difficult. But I thought, to me it seems that if they could find a way to practice their Portuguese in a way that was fun and not a chore, that could help them a lot. So that's something I've been working on. And I've been working with two amazing counterparts. They're English teachers in the secondary school with me. Their names are Americo Filomena and Teresa Obadias, and they have just been such an incredible help. They explain how our school works, they explain things in the community, and they've just been there for me and been great friends. And I'm also really lucky to have some amazing neighbors. They like to tease me all the time, and they ask for my things constantly, but they've also just been so generous with me. They offer me food whenever I go to visit, and they take me to work in their field with them and to go to celebrations. And it's just been wonderful to get to know like a regular Mozambican family and to see what their life is like, their everyday lives. When I'm not working or visiting people, I like to go for walks through the farms outside of our town, and I'm trying to grow my own garden with some help from my neighbors. And I also read a lot. And I have 2 kittens that I love and they keep me sane. Yeah, it's good. It's a good life, I think. I also get a lot of questions about my living situation. So I just wanted to mention that real quick. I live in a 3-room concrete house, and it's a really nice house by Mozambican standards. I have electricity, I have a water tap outside, and I use a pit latrine in my backyard. I take a bucket bath every day, and I cook on a little electric hot plate, and then I boil and filter my water also. But all of this is normal to me. It's become just my normal life. And it's amazing to me how quickly we can adapt to just about anything, especially to material differences like that. My life is very different than it was in the States, but it doesn't seem strange to me anymore. And I have moments like when I see boys take their cows down to the river, or when I'm sitting around my neighbor's cook fire and it's getting dark. And in the beginning, these moments like really stuck out to me as like I'm in Africa now. But now they're just part of my life, and I love that. It's one of my favorite things about being here. Let's see. Being here has also made me appreciate our own country so much more. And I don't mean the conveniences, like things like couches and microwaves and transportation, although I definitely miss that. But more importantly for me, being here has really made me appreciate the freedom we have to choose what to do with our lives. Just the fact that I decided to come here to Africa to work just because I wanted to. And I was a recent college grad and I didn't have a lot of money, but I was still able to make that happen for myself. That's incredible and very rare actually in the world. People here, they have an amazing culture and they have a wonderful community life. It's very strong, but they don't have choices like that. And it just makes me feel very blessed that we do. I'm very thankful for it. Let's see. I joined the Peace Corps mostly because I was curious what life was like in a developing country, and I wanted to experience it firsthand, and I am now, and I still think I'm definitely getting the better end of the deal. It just amazes me that I can live in a country halfway around the world and be a part of their community, and if I can help them out in exchange, then I try to do that. So if anyone is thinking about applying to the Peace Corps, I would absolutely encourage you to do so, because it's an amazing opportunity to work for our government and to do some good in the world, and most importantly, to learn what life is like outside of the United States. And I think education in any form is one of the most important things for us, and that definitely started with the education I got at Marshall. So coming back to that, I wanted to thank Marshall one more time, and especially to thank Dr. Nygaard for giving me the best education possible, and now for recognizing the work that I'm doing. So thank you again. Thank you so much.
Ni bom. A vitela mina Anastasia, ni vizinha wa Nora. Nora é professora da escola secundária, wa inglês, a dara bem, a aluno va muranza, na hina ya muranza, hina va vizinhi va yehe.